Dr. Jane Goodall stands as one of the most iconic and influential figures in the fields of primatology, ethology, and conservation. Renowned for her groundbreaking work with chimpanzees in the forests of Tanzania, Goodall redefined the relationship between humans and animals. Her research not only shattered long-held scientific beliefs but also sparked a global movement for wildlife conservation and environmental awareness. From her many scientific contributions that left a huge legacy behind, the story of Jane Goodall was full of life, full of achievements, full of activities, and she also left us one last message through the newest Netflix show called Famous Last Words. Go check that documentary on Netflix, guys. I am telling you, it is totally worth your time. And why? Because it is actually super inspiring. And without further ado, let me introduce you or reintroduce you to Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall was born on April 3rd, 1934 in London, England, during a time when women were rarely encouraged to pursue scientific careers. And from a very young age, she already started to exhibit an intense curiosity towards animals, all sorts of animals. She was basically their friends and she wanted to make more friends, basically. And at the age of 10, she received a copy of Tarzan of the Apes, which ignited her dream of traveling to Africa to study wild animals. And unlike many of her peers, she did not actually aspire to become a traditional woman in the per se kind of way, but instead she actually nurtured a bold vision of living among the craziest and most dangerous creatures that we have on this planet, and without the financial means to actually go to university and study and all of that, Goodall started to actually pursue secretarial training. However, in 1957, an invitation from a friend brought her to Kenya, where she met one of the most famous paleontologists in the world, was called Dr. Louis Leakey. And Leakey, recognizing her keen observational skills and passion, hired her as an assistant and later selected her to conduct a long-term study of chimpanzees in the wild. A decision that would change the course of scientific history, basically. Because as soon as Jane actually showed up to Kenya, she actually was going around and she was studying some things around, and then at some point she basically was encountering a lion. And from how she took that encounter and how she behaved herself and calmed herself and just kept on walking instead of freezing, being afraid or trying to hide, because at that point the lion will always find you, but you will not find the lion, just like Jane said it. And so by the decision that she took, Leakey, the professor, actually saw what she did and how she behaved, and that's how he was like, yeah, that's gonna be my assistant right there. And as she became the assistant, she also started studying chimpanzees a lot. So literally out of 24 hours in the day, she was probably for like 20 hours outside, literally going and exploring stuff here and there. And even though she couldn't find properly like animals all the time and all of that, like chimpanzees in a way, she would always find other animals, and those other animals will tell her other stories and all of that. So in a way, Jane Goodall was always trying to see Mother Nature as it is and accept the stories that come from Mother Nature in a way. And that is a very important lesson for you guys and for me as well, to not forget about Mother Nature and about how magnificent and what it can do actually. And it's not just about, oh yeah, just the forest is there, we can just do whatever we want with it and all of that. No, there's a whole world that lives in that forest, for example, and that's what Jane was trying to tell us. Then in 1960, at the age of 26, Jane Goodall began her research at the Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania. And at the time, little was known about the behavior of chimpanzees. Like, we didn't know shit back in the day. And since she already lacked formal scientific training, she approached her studies with an open mind in a way, and a very deep sense of respect towards all kinds of animals she observes.
Hello? I love you.
Her most revolutionary discovery came when she discovered chimpanzees using and even modifying tools to obtain termites from nests, a behavior previously believed to be uniquely humane.
And that was what was supposed to make us most unique at that time. Humans and only humans use and make tools. We were defined as man the tool maker.
And when she literally went to the professor, Dr. Leakey, he famously said, "Now, we must redefine what the word tool means, we must redefine what the word men means, or we gotta accept that chimpanzees are human beings right now." And Goodall also documented previous unknown behaviors, including complex social structures within chimpanzees community, aggression and territoriality, and even lethal conflict between groups, sometimes leading to even wars, like primal wars, for example, where you have a bunch of chimpanzees on this side and a bunch of others on the other side, and they basically fight for the territory of everything.
Whoa, 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 hey.
And then you also got emotional depth, such as grief, affection, and maternal bonding. And the last one, which is hunting and meat sharing, debunking the myth that chimpanzees were solely herbivorous. And even to the method of naming the chimpanzees instead of numbering them. Back then, it was all by numbers. So this chimpanzee would be number 1, this chimpanzee would be number 2. But then, thanks to Jane, now we can actually start giving names to the chimpanzees. So for example, we had David Graybird, we had Flo, and we had Fifi. Such a great name. And it was unconventional at the time to actually do that kind of practice, but look at us nowadays, where now everybody refers to specific chimpanzees by their names. And while initially criticized as unscientific, this approach is now widely accepted and considered a hallmark of ethological research. And despite her unconventional background, Goodall's empirical rigor and fieldwork led to academic recognition. With support from Leakey, she enrolled at the University of Cambridge in 1962, and by 1966, she had earned a PhD in ethology. One of the few individuals in the university's history allowed to pursue a doctorate without first holding an undergraduate degree. Goodall's publications, including In the Shadow of Men in 1971 and The Chimpanzees of Gombe in 1986, brought her work to both scientific and public audiences. Her collaboration with National Geographic brought images of chimpanzees' behavior into homes around the world, humanizing animals in ways never before seen and bridging the gap between science and the general public. And as her scientific career started to flourish, she also started to notice the dangers that were coming for the homes and the habitats of all of those chimpanzees, you know? And by 1980, deforestation, hunting, and the illegal wildlife trade had placed many primate species at risk. And in response, she transitioned from a full-on time on the field to full-on time advocacy.
It's showtime!
And in 1977, she founded the Jane Goodall Institute, which supports community-based conservation efforts, scientific research, and educational programs worldwide. The Institute now operates in over 100 countries and plays a leading role in protecting primates and promoting sustainable development in Africa. In 1991, she launched Roots and Shoots, a youth-led program that empowers young people to make positive change for people, animals, and the environment. And with members in over 60 countries right now, the initiative reflects that Goodall's belief that hope lies in always the next generation. And Goodall's work also extends to animal welfare, climate change awareness, and ethical consumerism. For example, she always talks about plastic and how everybody is wasting plastic and how I am wasting plastic as well. For example, I just went to Walmart the other day, and instead of, grabbing some stuff, just like that. Like for example, when you grab some orange juice or whatever, you don't need to per se put that orange juice in a plastic bag. Like it's so big that you can just literally carry it by itself. And so the lady basically at the Walmart decided to do what? She literally double bagged or triple bagged the OJ, for example. And I'm like, why are you literally just wasting so much plastic? Because that plastic is literally just gonna go to trash, and that trash is just gonna go to the bin, you know, like at the end, just plastic is just wasted for nothing. And I'm telling you, Jane is totally 100% sure that if everybody makes a step into actually making our planet better, trust me, 8 billion people will make a huge difference in all of this. She also advocates for plant-based diets, sustainable agriculture, and corporate responsibility, all while traveling nearly 300 days a year to speak at conferences, schools, and global summits. Dr. Jane Goodall has received countless accolades for her scientific, humanitarian, and environmental contributions, including the Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire in 2004, the UN Messenger of Peace in 2002, the Templeton Prize in 2021, and over 40 honorary doctorates from universities worldwide. Her influence extends into literature, film, and pop culture. Documentaries like Jane in 2017 have captured her life story, while her books, including Reason for Hope and The Book of Hope, continue to inspire readers around the globe. And beyond everything and beyond that, her legacy is perhaps best measured by how many people she actually touched with her stories and everything that happened to her and everything that she discovered. From scientists to conservationists to children planting trees around the world in her name even, I am telling you, Jane has touched so many people by being good to people in a way. And her unique blend of scientific insight, moral courage, and tireless optimism has reshaped not only how we see chimpanzees, but even how we see ourselves. Jen was full of positivity, goodness, and willpower to protect Mother Nature and always to do more for Mother Nature. And for Jane, many people around the world are actively polluting our air and our planet, and in her opinion, they should all go on a rocket ship and go all the way to Mars and no ticket back. I'm telling you, she was crazy. Jane Goodall's life is a statement to the power of curiosity, compassion, and perseverance. From a young girl with a dream of Africa to a world-renowned scientist and advocate, she has demonstrated that meaningful change is possible when one is guided by empathy and committed to the truth. Her research fundamentally changed how we define humanity, and her advocacy continues to protect the natural world for future generations. And more than a scientist, Jane Goodall is a symbol of peace. A reminder that each individual has the power to make a difference in this world. No matter how small it can be, it will make a difference, I am telling you.
This shit means something to me, man.
And as well as she said it on Netflix, and I quote, "Each and every one of you has a role to play. You may not know it, you may not find it, but your life matters. And you are here for a reason. And I just hope that reason will become apparent as you live through your life." And she also says, and I quote, "Don't lose hope. If you lose hope, you become apathetic and do nothing. And if you want to save what is still beautiful in this world, then think about the actions you take each day. Because multiplied a billion times, even small actions will make for great change."
That's what I'm talking about.
And on that note, all I gotta say is respect and RIP to Jane Goodall, because she brought humanity and she brought the world so much information and so much goodness. This woman deserved the role she had as a symbol of peace, and we can all just hope to be a little bit just like Jane in the future. And on those great words of wisdom, guys, I want you to take good care of yourself, and hope everybody watching this video stay safe and live your life to the fullest. And go check out my other videos on the channel because your boy needs the likes and the views. Go for it. Don't forget to subscribe too. Peace.